Look at these two hoodies. To the naked eye, they are identical. The weight of the fleece, the double-stitched seams, the oversized fit, they're twins. But when you flip the tag, one carries a logo that costs you half a week's rent, while the other is priced like a takeout dinner. Most people assume the price gap is about quality. We tell ourselves the expensive one was made by artisans in a sun-drenched European studio, while the cheap one was churned out by a machine. But as someone who has spent 2 decades inside the global fashion supply chain, I'm here to tell you the truth. They often come from the exact same production line. In the industry, we call it dual tracking. A factory in Ho Chi Minh City or Dongguan will run a batch of 5,000 units for a luxury streetwear giant in the morning and 50,000 units for a fast fashion retailer in the afternoon. The fabric? Often from the same mill. The workers? The same hands. The only difference is the perceived value the brand's marketing team has managed to drill into your head. But the price tag is just the first layer of the deception. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the hidden machinery of retail. We're going deep into the psychological traps, the secret landfills, and the ghost factories that define what you wear. By the end of this video, you will never look at a sale sign the same way again. Have you ever walked into a store for one specific pair of jeans and walked out 2 hours later with a jacket, 3 t-shirts, and a pack of socks you didn't even want? That wasn't an accident. It was a calculated heist of your dopamine. Retailers use a tactic called planned frustration. They want you to feel just a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit lost. Why? Because a focused shopper is a frugal shopper. If you find what you need in 5 minutes, you leave. But if the store can induce decision fatigue, your willpower crumbles. Notice the zoning. The items you actually need, the basics, the denim, the fitting rooms, are almost always tucked away in the back or on the highest floor. To get to them, you have to navigate a gauntlet of clutter. These are high-margin, trendy items placed right at eye level in the front. They are the bright, shiny objects designed to distract you. But the manipulation goes deeper than just the floor plan. It's sensory. Retailers curate the vibe to control your spending speed. In luxury stores, the music is slow, around 60 to 70 beats per minute. This mimics a resting heart rate, encouraging you to linger, touch the fabrics, and justify a $500 purchase. In fast fashion outlets, the music is loud and fast. The lighting is intentionally bright, almost clinical. This creates a sense of urgency and hedonic arousal. You feel like you're at a party. You're more likely to grab 5 $15 shirts because the environment is telling your brain that everything is a steal and you need to move fast before it's gone. And then there's the temperature. Ever noticed how some stores are freezing while others are stifling? Research shows that a slightly cooler environment can actually increase luxury perceptions, while a warmer, more crowded space triggers a scarcity mindset. You're being played by the very air you're breathing. What happens to the clothes that don't sell? If you think they all go to a charity or a thrift store, I have some bad news. For decades, the fashion industry's dirtiest secret was the burn. To protect brand exclusivity, luxury houses would rather incinerate millions of dollars worth of unsold inventory than see it sold at a discount or, heaven forbid, worn by someone who didn't pay full price. They didn't want their $2,000 coat appearing in a TJ Maxx or a charity bin. Now, as we sit here in 2026, things are changing legally, at least in Europe. A landmark ban on the destruction of unsold textiles is finally taking effect for large companies. But brands are already finding loopholes. Instead of destroying them, they downcycle them into low-grade insulation or industrial rags, which is often just a slow-motion path to the landfill. And then there's the return problem. E-commerce has made us addicted to bracketing, buying the same shirt in 3 sizes and returning 2. To you, it's a free service. To the brand, it's a logistical nightmare. In the US alone, returns result in nearly 6 billion pounds of landfill waste every year. Why? Because it's often cheaper for a retailer to throw a returned item into the trash than to pay a human to inspect it, steam it, repackage it, and restock it. If there's even a single stray hair or a faint scent of perfume, that garment is considered damaged. Into the bin it goes. That eco-friendly brand you love? They might be landfilling your returns while posting about sustainability on Instagram. We've all been conditioned to believe that made in Italy or made in France is a seal of quality. But in the modern supply chain, country of origin labels are often a legal fiction. In the industry, we call them ghost factories. Take the Prato district in Italy. It's one of the largest garment hubs in Europe, but it's largely run by subcontractors who have moved their entire supply chains from overseas. Here's how the made-in myth works. A garment can be 90% manufactured in a low-cost factory in a country with few labor protections. The fabric is cut, the body is sewn, and the heavy lifting is done. Then, the unfinished garment is shipped to Italy. A local worker, often an undocumented migrant working in a ghost factory, sews on the buttons, adds the final zipper, and attaches the Made in Italy label. Legally, because the last substantial transformation happened in Italy, they can charge you a 500% markup for the prestige. You aren't paying for Italian craftsmanship, you're paying for a loophole. But the newest deception isn't even physical, it's algorithmic. Welcome to the era of ultra-fast fashion. Brands like Shine and Temu have evolved. In 2026, they don't even make the clothes before you see them. They use AI algorithms to track your clicks, your scrolls, and your likes in real time. They create a 3D digital render of a top that doesn't exist. They post it. If the algorithm sees 10,000 people hovering over the image, they trigger a micro-batch production in a factory that is digitally linked to their headquarters. This sounds efficient, but it creates a disposable digital culture. These clothes are designed to look good in a photo for 10 seconds, not to survive a washing machine. You are buying digital trash that happens to be made of polyester. So where does this leave us? Is every brand lying? Not every brand, but the machinery is designed to keep you in a cycle of constant, low-value consumption. The industry wants you to believe you are powerless, that you need the latest drop to stay relevant. But the new truth is that the consumer actually holds all the cards. The moment we stop rewarding fabric deception, the machinery has to change. Stop looking at the price tag and start looking at the construction. Turn the garment inside out. Are the seams straight? Is the fabric thin enough to see through? Is it a natural fiber, or is it basically plastic? Shift your focus from buying more to buying better. A wardrobe of 12 high-quality, ethically sourced pieces is worth more, both to your wallet and the planet, than a closet full of $20 deals that will be in a landfill by next season. We've been trained to be consumers. It's time to start being custodians of what we wear. The fashion industry relies on your silence and your impulse. But now you know the secrets. You know the planned frustration of the aisles. You know the burn in the warehouses. And you know the ghost factories behind the labels. The next time you see a 70% off sale, I want you to stop and ask yourself, am I the customer or am I the inventory? If you're ready to stop being manipulated by big retail and want to see the world for what it really is, comment the word unmasked below. It lets me know you're part of the movement to demand better. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're just getting started pulling back the veil on the global economy. I'm Brian of Urban Design, and this was The Hidden Machinery. Thanks for watching.